Huh, I wonder if that's Halo.
Cortana, all I need to know is, did we lose them?
I think we both know the answer to that.
There's a lot that realistically goes into making an introduction that is both engaging and awe-inspiring. Few games have mastered the art of telling a story and mixing that in with intelligent mechanics, especially when we include gameplay that is slightly dumbed down for the sake of a series of tutorial sequences. However, that doesn't stop one of the most well-known levels in all of Halo from being, well, legendary. Nothing makes me happier than sitting back, relaxing, and playing a casual campaign session on Pillar of Autumn, just like I did when I first learned how to play Halo way back in late 2001. Now, before you wreck me in the comments section, I'm going to get to the list. I just first want to preface this by saying that I'm not going to take the cheap route by saying, hey, this is the first level, or it takes place right after Halo Reach did. So I'm going to actually be giving you genuinely awesome, amazing, super cool facts. We're talking Johnson level cool. And with that being said, my beagles, my name is GlitchMasta, and here we have 10 fascinating facts about the Pillar of Autumn. Number 10, Halo before Halo. I find it most appropriate to start this video with this little factoid. When you reach the bridge, you will obviously find the command screen display right in front of Captain Keyes. Well, on the screen there are numerous things that are going on, some of which are detailing the fight going on in orbit with the Covenant boarding parties and the ring world that we are facing. Well, coincidentally, this ring world is labeled as Halo on the display. Now, this wouldn't be too crazy, as the game is indeed called Halo. Good job. However, neither Captain Keyes nor any of the UNSC at this point knew of the rings being called Halo. While in the lore, you might be able to explain certain things being figured out by 2552, in a 2001 video game that barely had any established lore, you really cannot argue this. Unless you want to tell me that Daddy Didact was leading the charge on the invading ship. Number 9, Twin Peaks. When you play this level in cooperative mode, you will notice that when there's two Master Chiefs, they will both get out of their respective cryopods. Well, here's the thing, there's two of them. Now, this might not mean much, however, it's worth noting that this is actually one of the very few instances of the game showcasing two chiefs within a single scene. Also, when there are two chiefs, this renders the tutorial sequence on easy and normal solo unnecessary and is then skipped. Sorry for those of you that wanted to do the energy shield test with a friend. Number 8, that ring doesn't look right. When you first saw this Halo ring outside the bridge of the Pillar of Autumn, were you blinded by its majesty? Paralyzed? Dumbstruck? Or did it just look slightly off to you? Well, unlike the Threshold Moon, which can be seen in the distance, the Halo ring on this level is actually a piece of geometry made specifically for this little section. It's really just animated slightly and scaled down enough to give the impression that it's massive, yet somewhat in proximity. Number 7, made in record time. While we are on the subject of created geometry for this level, we have to talk about the Pillar of Autumn itself. According to Halo 1 developers' commentary by Jason Jones, Marty O'Donnell, and Joseph Staten, aka the Godfathers of Halo, it was noted that OG level designer and mad scientist Paul Russell created the ship in about 4 minutes.
Wow, you know what?
There it is, opening scene. What do you think?
Well, since it's been a while since I've seen this, the really funny part about all this stuff with the Pillar of Autumn is in all of these shots.
Is that Paul Russell built it in like 4 minutes?
Other than that, is that.
Now, I'm pretty sure that this is just hyperbole to describe just how quickly Paul Russell created the ship's geometry. It's not to say, though, that he didn't create it in lightning fast speeds, as if you do some research on Mr. Paul Russell, well, you'll just see that he is definitely a speedy builder when it comes down to making levels quickly. Number 6, the Johnson family. While Sergeant Johnson did not quite receive his plot armor until Halo 2, you could find his character model located in several spots throughout the mission, from giving one of his badass speeches, to exploding in the airlock, to guarding the lunchroom. This guy really does it all.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Some of the reasoning behind this is that, well, his model is really just used as a placeholder to represent other sergeants, similar to how Sergeant Stacker's model is reused throughout the game. If one of the Johnson models dies, it could always be attributed to being a Sergeant Parker or a Sergeant Walker. Hell, Johnson's clones can get so crazy that in the lunchroom fight, there's a chance you can even encounter 2 of them at once. Maybe one of these Johnson clones can come on in and take his place after Johnson 1's death in Halo 3. Number 5, Master Orator Johnson. I'm honestly very surprised with how many newer fans did not even realize this. On every difficulty from easy to legendary, Johnson will give a dynamic speech to the Marines in the hangar bay that is different on each difficulty. It's touches like this that give the game such replayability because you want to go through and listen to them all. Number 4, leave them where they lay. We all love it when Keyes hands us that pistol that he doesn't keep loaded for some sort of reason.
Son, you'll have to find ammo as you go.
We also love it when we get a brief pistol tutorial sequence where we just headshot grunts and we can see that sweet grunty death backflip. However, what nobody talks about is the fact that none of these grunts will drop a usable plasma pistol. Now this is seemingly done as a safety measure to make sure your first 2 guns are the Magnum and Assault Rifle, which is picked up right in the entrance to the cafeteria. However, right after that you can pick up any grunt plasma pistols you want. Special glitches excluded. Number 3, a special news bulletin. The bulletin board on the bridge of the Pillar of Autumn is always a fun little Easter egg to look at. We can get information like a certain Chicago office being for sale, I see you there Bungie, and the missing kitten Mr. Jonesy. There's also that random keyboard on there too. That's cool, I guess. I'm also glad that in Anniversary Mode, 343 had some fun with the bulletin board as well. Number 2. Hello, fellow Spartan. While we discuss the cooperative Spartan, there appears to be another Spartan on board the Pillar of Autumn with her vitals and readings being reported on the screen. We are of course talking about Linda 058 of Blue Team. At this point in the lore, she was considered technically deceased, however through a series of Deus Ex Machina that is somewhat interesting to read about, since she came back just in time to join us for Halo 5 Guardians. You know, maybe being dead would have been better. Number 1, it stays still.
Other than that, is that the Pillar of Autumn never moves.
Right.
In this cinematic and other cinematics, it's just a piece of BSP geometry that the camera always moves around. So to simulate movement,
Oh my god, it's Captain Keyes.
Look at
we had to do some crazy stuff. So yeah, the Pillar of Autumn is not moving at all. Everything else is moving. Wait for it. Okay, Pillar of Autumn not moving.
Yes, gotcha. Well, it looks like it's moving.
Clever
It does,
camera
doesn't it?
work, Jay. Oh wow.
You heard that right. The Pillar of Autumn in the opening cutscene and ending cutscene of the level is basically stationary, and it is everything else around the ship that is moving. I'm sure it would have pushed the engine into complete overdrive mode, just like the engines, if the giant Pillar of Autumn had to move itself, so I think that this was a great little way of utilizing perspective and psychology to give us the illusion of movement. This goes to prove just how Halo 1's less is more and beautiful simplicity approach worked out, and honestly why Halo is one of the greatest games of all time, as what other games can create such an epic cutscene with so few elements. Once again, there's a reason why Halo is the best. Thank you for watching my video. Do you agree with my list, or do you know of any other facts that I missed? Please, let me know in the comments down below. Who knows, I might even make a volume 2 with some shoutouts to people who can provide other fascinating facts down the road. Also, while you're at it, please do not forget to leave a like, share the video, subscribe to me because we got more levels on the way, and most importantly, pet a dog. My name is GlitchMasta, and as always, peace.